On Being Lonely, a drabble by avsongbird. Do you know what it's like to be lonely? Not everyday run-of-the-mill lonely, everyone knows that. I'm talking about deeply, desperately, achingly, staring out the window, wondering if there's a single person alive who is at that moment missing your company or thinking of you at all, and knowing that there isn't and hasn't been for a long time. Kind of lonely. The kind with no end in sight. What you wouldn't do, what you wouldn't give to not be lonely, even for a moment. Sometimes it scares you to think about it. I've been lonely most of my life. Don't get me wrong, I've had friends, I've had family. I still have family and friends, both of which show up on occasion. I've got people in my life. But you can be in a room full of people, with crowds of people in your life, and be lonely. Lonely people know what I mean. In a world full of acquaintances and faked smiles and meaningless conversations, with television and high-speed travel and the internet making the world a smaller place all the time, you think it'd be harder to be alone, let alone to be lonely. But if you know what it's like to fake that smile and to get up, get dressed, and go about your day like everything's fine, knowing you're fooling everyone because none of them really care enough or know you well enough to recognize the difference, then you know what I mean. At the end of the day, your clothes aren't the only thing you shed when you get home. When the doors are closed and your work is done and there's no one else to smile and act brave and pretend for. When the mask is shed and you climb into the shower and turn the water on so no one will see you or hear you when you cry, because the last thing you need right then is to have to muster up the strength to put together one more lie. Because if you tell them the truth, either they'll never believe you, or they'll try to tell you all the reasons you have to be thankful. Of course you're thankful for the good things in your life. You're just tired of being alone. You're tired of having to fake that smile and put on that mask for everyone else and knowing it's painted on. You're tired of always being okay whether you're okay or not because you have no other choice. Just for once, what you wouldn't give, not to feel lonely. Not to feel alone for just 1 second of your life. Not to be brave or pretend, not to have to lie just once to the people who profess to know you, who profess to care. Not to know that if you did try to explain how you really felt, they'd try to prescribe you a cure for your emotions, or to tell you to suck it up, that it's normal and how everyone knows how you feel, that they know how you feel when you know better. Some days are more exhausting than others, smiling, faking, pretending. You come away feeling drained after the simplest of conversations because your mouth is moving, the words come out, and all the while you wonder what the hell your small talk is worth as the seconds of your life are ticked away, knowing you can never get those precious seconds back. And yet you just let them go, figuring some form of interaction, even a fake one, is better than none at all. I didn't put this one out to get attention for myself because I'm in an amazing spot of my life right now. I'm doing very well in my life. I have family, I have friends who love me. But I felt it was important to put that one out there because I do know what it's like to feel that way. I've felt that way in my life. And I know there's people out there who feel they are alone and that no one understands what that kind of loneliness feels like. And the most important thing for people when they're going through something like that is knowing that there's someone somewhere out there who knows what it's like. And it isn't someone who's pretending to know and faking a smile, trying to push them to get through it, That it's someone who honestly knows what that's like, and not everyone does. And no, I'm not doing this for attention or, to bring you guys down. It's a very somber subject, and it's a very serious subject. And you know me, I always try to be honest and to be who I am on here. And unfortunately, this is it's an existing state in some people's lives. And like I said, the most important thing for people like that is to know there's people that know what it's like. Because sometimes being lonely like that gets to be too much for some people, and maybe knowing there's someone out there that knows what it's like can make all the difference. And maybe it'll make no difference. But putting this out there was important to me, because I want to help people. So, you guys have a great rest of your night. This has been AV Songbird on Being Lonely. Night, guys.